Okay, in this video I'm going to be making chermoula, which it's kind of like a marinade or a condiment. You can use it either way. So this will be going two different directions. I'm going to smoke some pork loin, which isn't a traditional use for it. Chermoula is from North Africa, so like Morocco and Tunisia and those sort of areas. So generally they're pretty halal, but they make some really intense spice flavored stuff. So I have my mise en place out here. One of the things I'll be doing is a spicy chickpea soup, which this will go with. You smear it on your bread, and then you dip that bread into the soup and move it around, and it kind of dissolves into the soup. And then the other one is I'm going to kind of marinate it on some pork loin that we have and give it a good smoke. So I have my recipe, set out my mise en place. So I picked all the mint in my garden. One thing FYI about picking herbs out of your garden, especially perennial herbs, is some people are really afraid to like pick them basically down to the ground, but that actually stimulates root growth. So when you get these kind of like laggy, thin, nasty looking herbs, it's probably because you were afraid to pick off of it and it grew too leafy, put all its energy into producing leaves, and then didn't produce any roots, and so then it kind of withers up and dies the next year. Which things like mint and oregano, thyme, lemon balm, marjoram, and things like that, bay and even rosemary, that sort of, well, bay's a tree, but that stuff you can pick really hard. You can cut it basically down to the ground if you know the roots are well set, and that actually will stimulate better root development, which will give you bigger, better plants later on. So the other thing was if you have flowers coming off of them, you want to cut all the way down to the root so that it puts new shoots out, and that way you don't get woody and kind of dead, because it will die off for the season if you let it go that way, and then hopefully come back next year. But if you keep on stopping it before it bolts, it's a good thing. Anyways, so I picked all the mint that I had available. I just split the plant and kind of did a lot of damage to the roots, so I didn't want to go crazy on it. But I got close to what I was looking for mint, and I have parsley, cilantro, cumin, coriander, black pepper. I have Urfa biber, which is a Turkish chili. Here I'm toasting my whole spices. This is very important, especially if you're doing charcuterie or any kind of cured thing. It helps to bring out the essential oils, and so you end up getting a lot more flavor. And all we're really looking for this is for the aroma to start coming out, and then that tells us that it's done. And you can tell that you did a good job toasting the spices if they grind up really easily in the mortar and pestle, so that looks pretty good to me. Take all of this, dump it into our food processor, and everything else is in there except for garlic and olive oil. And we'll just slowly drizzle in olive oil and water. Get a nice paste, and then this is done. You can add a squeeze of lemon juice to it if you want to, but that is it. And that is the finished product. So it's a bit salty, really intense herb and spice flavor, and so I'm gonna rub that on some pork loin and smoke that, and then also use it as a condiment for my soup.